And that's a really good feeling, man. When you're up in front of a crowd, no one really knows who you are yet, but they see who you are on stage in that moment, and you're hearing everyone cheering for you. That's a different feeling, man. I know no one could see it, but when I was in Tampa, I was doing my individual routine, and I knew my wife and son were watching me. And there was a moment where I actually started tearing up, and there was a lot of emotion behind my posing. And I walked off stage like, fuck, man. I don't care what happens at this point. No matter what, no one could take away the feeling of I made it.
It's nostalgic, bro. Like
I'll give you that.
McDonald's, Pizza Hut, it's stuff I'll never get rid of.
Wow, dude, you're speaking my language right now, my man. Dude, you can't go wrong with the basics.
Taco Bell.
Bro,
I'm loving this.
Wife say that shit's real, right? I'm like, you know what? If you truly believe you have God in your heart, you're fearless. Nothing can hurt you.
God in your heart and 260 pounds of 100% grass fed. Yeah, all right, Ghost, what you got, bitch?
You're fucking bulletproof.
You gotta run, you're screwed.
Chucky comes around the corner, he's gonna throw him through the wall. What are you talking about? No running. Welcome back to the D2 podcast. Around the table, we got Nick J, Lance Hefner, myself, Zach Devo, and we got Luke behind the camera. We have some special things happening on this episode, so I won't allude to what they are just yet. But as we're kind of sitting here hanging out, getting ready for this podcast, I figured we talked about our weeks a little bit because we're going to be getting into, never mind.
There he is. What's up, my man?
How is it going?
You're good, bro. You're good.
No problem. I'm going to click record here real quick. Can you hear us all right? We're talking right into our mics. Can you hear us?
You're perfect. You're perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, so quick introduction so you know who we are. My name is Zach. This is Lance, and then obviously you know Nick over there.
Howdy, sir.
Yes, sir.
Before we get into it, man, just thank you for taking the time. I know you're in prep. I know you're probably grinding right now, so thank you for taking the time.
Prep's over.
Oh, yeah.
I rebounded, but I'm out here visiting my family in Vegas, my wife's side of the family. So right now we're like just hanging out at the table and stuff. And I just got done eating, and I saw a link pop up, and I was like, maybe they sent it early. And then I saw the second one. I was like, nope, that's not early.
And by that way, that wasn't us double texting. We had to close down our room. We weren't rushing you in anyway. So thanks for coming on.
Perfectly, because literally I was on my phone. You know when you eat a meal and you're on your phone, like kind of thing. Yeah. So I saw it. I was like, oh shit! I'm so glad I saw it.
What was the meal?
Yeah. Beef and rice. It was meal 2. So I get up super early. So what I try to do, especially like coming out of a show and going into a rebound, is I'll be as prep consistent as possible. So, you know, when you like at the end of a prep, you're like early morning, like we're stupid up like 4:30 in the morning kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I took on a client at 6 in the morning. So I'll get up at 4:30 Monday through Sunday, no matter what, to keep that routine the same.
Yep.
To keep my body in that rhythm. So I've been up since 4:30, did my cardio, hung out with my wife, and got 2 meals in. So that's where I'm at
huge
now.
in that post prep window, dude. It's just like I've seen you guys too. You've seen way too many off seasons get ruined by how people treat that window. Dude, that consistency is, oh my God. I love hearing that. People are going to really be like, oh, okay, if Joe's doing it, I'm going to do it now.
Well, it's like a mindset thing. So one thing from the jump, I always heard, like Justin Compton, my coach, always preached about how important that time frame is after a show. And it's like you work so hard to get to that, like your body's a machine, you're like just really lean, and you can take advantage of putting on a lot of like new tissue in a short period of time. So from the jump, I always say like, okay, if we're already like super disciplined, super in that mindset of being in prep, and if you can just carry that over into the next phase and just let the body do as much as it can, whether it's 4, 6, 10 weeks. 10 weeks is the most I've ever done post show, where I didn't have one cheat meal. I wanted to make sure I stayed as tight as possible.
That's nice.
My body, my digestion stayed as good as possible. So it's literally like a better prep. You're eating just as clean. You're still super disciplined like you're in prep, but you have the energy, like you're moving, you're training harder, your volume's going up, your recovery's better. So it's literally a better prep. And that's where I truly believe I've made the most progress in those big jumps from show to show. And then when I go into the off season, like the true off season or the health phases of everything, that's where I start being more sociable. That's when I start doing the cheat meals, spending real quality time with my family, going out and doing these events and stuff, but letting my mind kind of reset and stop being so
So
much of a
important.
robot. But yeah, that window of time, that's where I'm like 100%. There's no deviation from
Yeah.
plan. Like I am a bodybuilder, and that's all I am in that moment. So I've preached that since the beginning, and I
Mhm.
mean my physique's at where it's at because of that. I truly believe that.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
100% spot on.
And we're gonna deep dive into that, and I want to dig real hard. But before we get to that, I want to say, hey, what's up to Jordan? Thank you for
What's up,
coming
guys?
on, man.
Big
Go
go.
ahead.
Yeah,
What's up, Joe? How you doing,
Yeah.
bro?
Hey, good
So-
man.
Yeah,
I miss you already.
Yeah, I miss you in Texas too, and appreciate
Yeah.
you guys having us on, man.
yeah.
Oh.
No, we are fucking beyond excited. We want to get
Yeah.
into a ton, but for our listeners, just want to introduce these two guys. We got Joe Palacios. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
All right. Did I nail it first time? That's
You did. I'm proud of you, man.
Let's
Don't
go.
say this,
Impressive.
and then we got Jordan Hutchinson. So thank you guys for taking the time. You guys are like blowing up on the scene right now. So we were like, holy fuck, we got to talk to these guys, fresh off competitions, looking phenomenal. The changes you guys both made in your off seasons are like just out of this world. So we have a ton of that we want to deep dive into. But before
You guys
we
are the
get
talk
into
of the
that-
town, man.
Yeah, talk of the town. How are you guys
you
weeks?
guys.
How you guys doing? We just got a little bit from Joe. I guess, Jordan, how you
Yeah, I
doing?
was
Yeah.
gonna let Jordan take the reins.
Man, I'm doing good. It's been interesting because it's definitely been a whirlwind. Like, you know how you have these goals for a prep, and like, obviously, I wanted to qualify for the Olympia, so that was the goal, anyways. And I knew if I qualified, I'd be straight into Olympia prep. But it's almost like you expect to be so busy in prep.
Yeah.
And then when you get done, you think things are going to slow down. Well, it was just like an absolute whirlwind after the show.
Yeah.
So, I win Tampa, and then I got to focus on Texas. So I wasn't like, I was having a hard time even basking in it. It was like not even real yet because I just had to lock it in and finish Texas. And then after that, it was just, I got even busier. So I've been trying to really lock in like I have been, but just mentally handling all the craziness that comes along with it.
Yeah, like getting
And,
booked on the Dumbbells and Doobies podcast. Just crazy
I will
popular.
say,
Appreciate you guys.
Joe. I'm sure Joe understands. It's probably the most podcasts we've ever done in a short period of time,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure.
which is fun. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. How does it feel? Like, how is scheduling feeling with Joe? You're getting off, but you said you're absolutely rigid. Jordan, you're still in prep. Joe, how do you feel like taking on all the podcasts? Like, how does it feel like getting kind of some extra limelight going on right now? How are you handling that?
It's one of those things that I've actually had this conversation with my training partner and best friend Paul. There was a point in my career about like 2 years ago where we're training hard, we're doing everything that all these other guys were doing, and I told him, I was like, man, I feel like we ourselves don't give ourselves enough credit for some of the knowledge we have and our opinions, and I feel like they matter. And I said, one day, we'll be given the opportunity to be put on a platform to where it'll be at a level where people are going to want to hear what we have to say, right?
Yeah. You took a
And
step.
it's because you're gonna earn that spot, So just with everything, I feel like I've earned my spot through just doing what I do.
Mhm.
So it's nice to be at this point and know that what I say now is gonna actually hit people. Compared, if I were to say it in the past, they wouldn't be ready to listen because they didn't know who I was yet.
That's huge.
So having a name behind myself, if you want to call it that at this point, I feel is going to deliver a stronger message, and that people are going to get more from me because of that. So I'm glad it took until this point, and that I've gotten where I have in the time frame that I have. And I've always felt like giving back to what's given so much to you is the most fulfilling thing ever. So given the opportunity to do all these podcasts, it's pretty badass.
And you make
Feels
it really
fulfilling.
easy, man, because you're very genuine with what you have to say. If it's bodybuilding related, if it's whatever related, but that makes, like, as you, like Devo said, get into the limelight, and people are starting to listen to what you have to say on different platforms. you're showing more of your personality, and you're a very charismatic person. And it's like your fan base just skyrocketing right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's also nice seeing your people really start to follow you even more now. And on top of that, you actually have really good information to give out. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, man. Thank you very
love
much.
that from you, bro. And just because I've known you for a while, and just from the beginning of your career, man, it's been an up and up. So I'm happy for you, brother.
Thank you, man. It's coming up. That was the cool thing. I'm at this point now, but I'm also at a point where people have they want to see me win, and that I don't think just anybody could say that. And that's a really good feeling, man. When you're up in front of a crowd, no one really knows who you are yet, but they see who you are on stage in that moment, and you're hearing everyone cheering for you. That's a different feeling, man. It's I knew I know no one could see it, but when I was in Tampa, I was doing my individual routine, and I knew my wife and son were watching me, and there was a moment where I actually started tearing up, and there was a lot of emotion behind my posing, and I walked off stage like, fuck, man, I don't care what happens at this point. No matter what, no one could take away the feeling of I made it.
Yeah,
right.
Hell yeah.
It was fucking dope, and there was a feeling I can't explain unless you've lived it. I'm sure Jordan knows it. Hearing his name called, hearing his wife cheer as loud as anybody in the room, man. It's
amazing.
It's such a great feeling.
It's an incredible feeling, bro.
100%.
It's hearing your inner circle and being able to pick them out in the crowd and seeing them. That's just it's so awesome. That's one of the best feelings, over the accolades and all that. It's making your inner circle proud, the people that have been with you along the journey, and believed in you from the start. I know Joe's definitely experienced that too.
Hell yeah.
It takes a village, and when you have that village there at the show, man, it does show on stage once you start hearing it. You can pick out your people, and then you guys were told it. Your posing changes when you really start to get in that flow, that poise on stage, and a huge part of that is hearing yep, all my supporters are here, my main people that I fuck with. It's just so nice.
And me and Joe are with Gasp, and so Gasp headquarters is here in Texas. So Texas was special because him and I both have so many friends here that came to the show, and they only wanted to see both of us do well, and I only want to see Joe do well. And I've shared that with him both personally and publicly. I was pulling for him at Texas to get obviously we all want to win, but I wanted to see him do his best possible. And I was a believer in Joe and how well he was going to do prior to him stepping on the Tampa stage. I knew.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I talked to my training partner, Justin Abbott, and I was like, dude, honestly, based on updates and based on his improvements, I think that Joe's going to be one of the guys I have to worry about the most. And I know that he's not getting as much talk as Quentin, these other guys,
Dude,
I knew it was coming.
I was watching the live stream, and I tagged both of you in it. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't even click on the quality. It was on super shitty quality on the live stream. And I'm like, God, why does Joe look like shit? I swear to God. And then I clicked it, and I have it on video, but I didn't post that one because I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I put it on HD, and then it readjusted, and I'm like, dude, he's about to smoke Jewett. He's probably going to get second or third. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. And then Jordan goes up there, and I texted these boys right away. I'm like, yeah, Jordan took that all day long at Tampa. I was like, amazing, bro. And then Texas came up. Hell, dude, want to get into that a little bit? Yeah, going right from Tampa to Texas, dude. And then, Joe, you freaking made some major improvements from Tampa to Texas, and then you edged out Quentin, and you got second within that week period, okay, getting off the Tampa show. What did you and Justin do to refine things, or you just kind of keep playing the same game?
So I kind of want to preface this with this statement. Every time I've gotten on stage, there's been a pretty long gap of time.
Yep.
And with that said, when improvements are made, you have a different body every time you're on stage. So every prep's different. Plus, you're in a different body, meaning you're more muscled, less fat. As long as you're doing things right. So I've never had the opportunity to go from one show back to the next. And so I got to take notes from that first peak and go into the second one. So it was really cool doing that when you can make minute changes to completely drastically change your look, whether it's posing, a little bit of water, maybe more carbohydrates, maybe you're too flat going in kind of thing, sodium intake's too low, too high. So literally all we did was to go against Jordan, who was peeled, muscular, and he had better shape than me. My strengths were conditioning. Like I come in really dry, really hard. I have a lot of muscle, so the only way I could edge out people like Quentin and Jordan was with coming in harder, drier, and as muscular as I could. So we pretty much came in about a pound and a half lighter, which made the biggest difference, and it made me that much harder. Brought out my lines just a little bit more, and it, knowing that like Quint had the experience that he had before, I thought he'd be too afraid to push conditioning. So I knew I could edge out Quint with that look. Jordan's a lot like me, so I knew it was gonna be a fight. I knew it was gonna be really hard to edge out Jordan. Already, like it's like fuck, especially because he has the same kind of relationship with Chris Tuttle as I have with Justin. I know the first thing he did was like, okay, how can we get better? Because I don't want to ease up on the gas and just because I won.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. So I know I have to push it to be someone like Jordan. So unfortunately for me, Jordan came in swinging. So, but
We came in
I'm super
tighter,
happy
too.
for. Yeah, exactly.
guys
He had the
did.
same fucking game plan, and it's crazy because me and Jordan, it's weird. Like we had to actually do a very similar approach to the whole like concept of what we did. Like I said on a previous podcast, I think it was Fuad's maybe that if Jordan would have brought the Tampa look to Texas, I actually think I had a chance of beating Jordan in Texas.
Sure.
But if I mean, if Jordan brought the Texas or the because Jordan came in tighter, I couldn't edge him out.
Right.
But that's why I feel I beat Quentin because Quentin came actually even a little softer
Yeah, I agree.
than Tampa, and so right away we were pumping up, and I knew I had Quentin beat. It was just a matter of like I need to stand next to him. It's just, as soon as they stand me next to him, it's going to be kind of clear that I'm going to beat him.
I'll say
But
this. For Tampa, I made a bold prediction. I told you guys this, and I ate my words. I made a bold prediction that I didn't think Quentin was going to get first callouts for Tampa. And that's, I think, just a little bit of, I was like you, Joe. I was like, I wonder if he was a little bit afraid to push the conditioning because of what happened last year with Jansen. Yeah. But damn, dude, Quentin still showed the fuck up for Tampa.
yeah,
You know,
I'm
and
super proud of him.
Yeah.
I was so happy with his look, dude. And then Texas still looked amazing, but obviously not enough for that to secure that second spot or even to beat
It's
Jordan.
also it's really hard to peak back to back weeks
Yeah.
when you don't have the data and you don't have the perfect the person you can trust guiding you to bring as good or a better look, because you're gonna look bad for a few days after Tampa usually. Like for me, I hold water really easily. We hardly restrict water. Like I'm generally drinking more water than most anybody I talk to leading into a show, but we also don't carb up a lot. And I know Joe was the same with Texas. He hardly carved up at all, but like everybody's different. Like for me, I look way better if I'm like 90% full. If I'm 100% full, I'm gonna not, which I was fuller at Tampa. I don't look as big, and I'm definitely not as hard.
Yeah.
Texas, I was 4 or 5 pounds lighter than Tampa.
Damn.
And so we dried out that much. Things were just really clicking, but I had to trust Chris because right after Tampa, for a minute there, after the flight and everything, you look a little worse. So like when you're self-coaching, which I know he has people in his corner, but it's very hard mentally because you're like, oh man, I look flat and watery. Does that mean I need to eat more? Do I need to do cardio? Do I need to rest? Do I need to drop fatigue? Like there's all these things that you probably need to do, but you have to have an objective look at it.
And especially
it's so hard for us.
Especially like going into peak week, man, when it comes to, I mean, even making decisions about drying out even more with, you know, what you're going to use, AIs, are you bringing that up even more? You know, I think it's a good move that he's living in the UK with Samson for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
you know, especially after tech. I think that's fantastic. He's already looking so much better, you know. But damn, well, it's one hell of a season, man, because we have that's his last opportunity to qualify for this Olympia, right? Is Italy?
It's Italy and Germany.
There's
Germany's
two.
the last
There's
one.
two.
Then France is for next year.
Oh, and then that's why I joke, because you didn't have your passport, right? That's why you're not doing those?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, so I mean, I didn't plan on it at all, but
Yeah.
seeing as close, if I would have had my passport, yeah, I would have had a conversation with my wife. So, hey,
Dude.
fuck you, let's go.
Bro, those passports are expensive. When I went to Mexico with Samson and Fuad in May, I had to expedite my passport, okay? And because I had lost mine before I went to, I was going to go to Sweden back like in 2020. And then, dude, it was like, close to $900 to get that shit expedited in like 14 days.
Fuck.
It was stressful.
That didn't happen.
Bro, it was so stressful.
Do you guys mind if I bring up some of the Instagram shots and we can talk through like how the shows, like where you guys were at mindset wise on stage and things like that?
Okay.
Awesome. I didn't want to cut anybody off, so I wanted to make sure we had a natural lull going on here. You guys, can you see the Instagram screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. So
Our producers helping us out.
helping
We're not
me out
technically
here.
inclined, boys.
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
you're good.
We've got a guy behind the camera that saves our ass.
I'm a
every episode.
bodybuilder. I'm not a IT guy.
Bro, our first like year and a half doing this shit, we fucked it up so many times. We have like 20 ghost episodes out there that were some of our best episodes ever, and we just lost track.
Have you guys fucked up and thought you were recording a whole conversation and never hit record?
Oh,
Dude,
we've done that quite a bit, but not recently.
A couple times.
Joe, who do we look like?
We don't look like tech guys.
I was gonna say, Joe, sometimes the name Dumbbells and Doobies hits us a little bit too hard before an episode.
Bro, we smoked something.
You know, one time we Anabar, when they were really blowing up, they sent us this huge like sample box, and we did a 2-hour episode talking about some of our best conversations, trying all these samples, and we get to the end, and one of our buddies goes, the cameras weren't recording.
Yep.
2.5 hours, and we were like, you just want
I've
to put your
done
hand.
large portions of my YouTube vlogs with my microphone off, and that it's terrible.
Oh yeah.
It just
That's
defeats
fucked
you.
up.
You're immediately like, I'm done doing this shit.
I know. It's like, is this even worth it?
Especially here, we'll get through like a whole podcast on a Sunday. It's 4 PM, and you realize you just wasted an entire day. Like set up, whole episode, tear down, and you're like, well, that was a waste.
That
Anyways,
happens, man.
let's get back to some bodybuilding. So we're gonna rewind a little bit, go back to the Tampa Pro. So we got our first call outs here. You guys can see that, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so first thoughts. I mean, you guys get called out into the first call outs. I'll start with you, Joe. You know, how does that feel right off the bat? Like you had a game plan going in, you know the game plan's looking great, and then you get that first call out right
For
away.
the people listening, it was from Cali last year.
Right.
It was what, 16th, right, Joe?
15th at Cali.
15th at Cali to fucking 3rd. That's massive.
It's crazy.
So yeah, dude, go into that.
Yeah, man. So real quick, I talked about how for like 15 seconds at the Cal, I felt just defeated.
Yep.
And then I like bitch slapped myself back into reality, saying like, man, Joe, like you had a quick come up as far as how fast you've gotten to this point. And all these guys have been doing this, and you just need more time. Like you didn't get here by mistake. So just keep doing what you're doing. Do it because you love it, not because anybody expects anything of you. Just keep going, and you're eventually going to get to where you want to be. Like, and I truly believe that. And so I just gave myself more time, which is why I even chose Tampa from that Cal show, because I gave me 14 months in between shows to make the improvements I feel like I needed. And so was it a surprise? It's one of those like, I expected it of myself, but it's still like, oh shit, I fucking did it. You know,
Right.
kind of thing. Yeah. So it was more of a relief, I would say, than anything. A relief in like, fuck, man, I do belong up here. I earned this, but like, I'm not just another guy that turned pro and that's it. It stops there. I can do so much more with this if I just keep going and do it for all the right reasons. So that's all that went through my head when I heard my name.
Yeah.
Love that.
I bet that got exciting. Jordan, how about you? How's that feel stepping into first call outs right out the bat?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, like I expected it just
Right.
because of how last year went. Like there is that thought in the back of my head. Some people know about what happened at Chicago Pro last year, where I was a projected front runner from a lot of people in that show, and it was my second pro show. I did Texas Pro 23 was my first pro show, and so I did Chicago, and Steve called out an 8-man call out, and I missed the first call out. So I was looking at like ninth. I was dead center of the second call out the whole time, but then they never rejudged us at prejudging. Then by finals, they pulled me all the way up to fifth, but never compared me with 1 through 4. So I just like didn't get a good look that show. I didn't get to stand next to who I wanted to. But then the next 2 shows, I was third and then second. So like I was more established. So, with Joe, obviously that's a lot more pressure to get in that first call out because he's a newer guy on the scene. At the end of the day, judges know who to look for as far as like,
right.
Yeah, if someone's as stand out as Joe, he's getting in that first call out. Like, doesn't matter how many pro shows he's done, but sometimes you can get lost in a lineup in the symmetry rounds. Your individual didn't look so great. Like my stage presence at Chicago last year wasn't that good. But what's a funny story is at Tampa, like I'm very confident, but there's some times where I have little flashbacks. I'm like having a flashback of Chicago Pro because we go out and we do the symmetry rounds, and I'm all the way on the side, and it's the same call out as Quint, and I know everybody's eyes on Quint, and I look at the judges when we're doing our symmetry round, and they're not even looking at me at all. Like, I don't see one glance from them at all. Tyler's not looking at me. None of the judges are looking at me. And I get back there backstage. I'm like, Chris, they didn't look at me one time. Like, I swear I didn't see any eyes from the judges. Did I, like, what was wrong? Did I miss something? And then, sure enough, I was one of the first ones they called. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, they knew I was in the first call out. They're trying to determine the other guys.
Right.
So it's like sometimes you got to work on mindset. Well, not sometimes, all the time you got to work on mindset in bodybuilding. Like when you get moved away from the center, they may be judging other guys. They may be trying to put other guys next to each other. It's always you got to have a positive mindset. And so I wasn't surprised I got in the first call out because that's what I expected. And I went into these shows. Prior to the shows, to be honest, I only told my inner circle this, but I told them I thought I could win both Tampa and Texas. Yeah. I just am not one to project that online because I don't want to come off as arrogant,
I like that about you, though. I like that about your personality, man.
Dog mentality at the same time.
100%.
But so looking at this front shot then, you guys are standing up there with some awesome physiques. First
Olympians,
off,
bro.
John Jewett, Quint, fucking John De La Rosa on the side,
and of course Quint's front double is like lights out, one of the best in the IFBB.
Yeah, look at that.
So
shit.
impressive.
Awesome. Well, like, what did you for your guys' front doubles? Getting into that because you guys both made huge improvements. Jordan, what were you looking to improve on this front double coming into this season based off critiques from last season?
Arms.
Yep.
And it's ongoing. Me working on my midsection and my shoulder mobility too. You'll notice like here, I need to be rotating a little more. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on that for the Olympia. But I've always had great quad sweep from the front. So and my lats flare a lot from the front. But arms were my biggest weak point, and they came up a lot this past year. So I think that really helped me in this shot. But I have had a back issue that inhibits me from extending thoracically as well. So I'm absolutely like flooding my schedule with as much tissue work as I can and working on mobility stuff. And that's a big focus.
Is that an injury from like in the past or something completely unrelated to bodybuilding?
I don't know. I really don't know. It happened. It's very weird because it happened last year, the week prior to Tampa Pro. And I remember my waist didn't look as small because I couldn't. It's like when you try to shift your hips back and flex your quads at the same time you pick your chest up, it was opposing. And there's like this sharp. So most people don't know, all the call outs at Tampa, I'm fighting a cramp in my back.
No way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And all the front shots and some of the side shots, it's not just like holding my poses. It's like I'm fighting a sharp pain in my back the whole time.
Fighting
but
for
it's
your
just
fucking
like
life.
it is what it is. We're going to
Goddamn.
like I hate saying this, but you have to have a mindset of like I'm going to war. Like whatever I feel right now doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that, but that's going to improve for the Olympia.
It's like this pain is only temporary kind of mindset. Like we just got to hold for a couple minutes. Let's fucking go.
You can do anything for a short period.
Right.
Hey Jordan, real quick, do you think, and this is coming based off of Texas, you know how they posed the shit out of us for Texas.
They
They
did.
did rounds, but they also did a lot of holding rounds.
Hmm.
And I know based on what I've seen with how hard you pose in the prep leading into the show, do you think you overworked your lower back? Because my back was fucked after that Texas show. And
I
all
do
I
wonder,
did,
bro.
yeah, because you said it happened during prep last year, I think you said, and then
Yep.
you're fighting it right now, and all you've done is pose even harder this year too. So again, the only reason I'm saying that is because that happened to me from Tampa to Texas, and then after the Texas show was real bad because again they were holding us, and I'm trying to fucking win, right? So I'm squeezing the fuck out of my back. I'm
Right.
squeezing my glutes to keep my hammies dug out. So I
Oh
think
my
that just
gosh,
may be,
hamstrings after a show are
yeah,
so sore.
yeah, and you don't want to lose them because if the judges like glance past you and they're not on, you know that that's going to hurt you, right? So, um, in
It's
the
definitely
videos,
a
me and you don't lose
possibility.
it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I think
I
just being
mean,
on
me
top of
and
the deep
Justin
tissue and
pose. We pose at least 4 or 5 days a week at destination post workout. Like
Yeah.
turn the fans off and sweat for like 30, 45 minutes.
I was gonna say,
So
I think the only thing I would do if I were you after some deep tissue work was would instead of doing like I don't think you need to do more than like 3 4 rounds of like 10 true
well,
second
we do.
holds.
Yeah, it's basically 3 or 4 rounds of 10 to 12 second holds, and we go
Oh,
back
okay.
and
Someone
forth.
said
But
you did
that's
like
after like
20.
a run through round to like video and see how we're looking, and then we'll talk through stuff, critique stuff. So it's like not 30 minutes straight of just posing, and we switch off. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
truly, I
Okay.
may need to hold off on like my front poses just to give those muscles in my back a break.
Right.
So you've been since Texas. How many days a week are you going for deep tissue? Is it just deep tissue, or are you doing any like dry needling in there too?
I've done some dry needling. I need to go back. I haven't done any since Texas, but like for instance, the other day I went to see my deep tissue girl, and like when I got off the table, the how tight I could pull my waist in my front shots was like nothing I've seen this
Oh,
entire
nice.
season.
Wow.
She was able to, but then like 3 days later, it's back to be tight.
It's the worst.
We're figuring out what kind of muscle imbalance or whatever it is.
I mean, you got time, man. You got what, 9-10 weeks to the Olympia?
Oh no, we got
thought it was
under
Sick.
7.
Yeah, we're on.
Wait,
that.
why did I think? Oh, that's right.
I was gonna say.
I'm thinking. I'm just
We're
screwing up
close.
timelines with
Yeah.
with a national or with another show coming up.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's
but you got
October
plenty of time.
9th,
Yeah.
October 10th.
got
You've been
plenty
doing a
of
lot
time.
of pendulum squat too, right?
Yeah, to alleviate my back.
Okay, yeah, the pendulum squat messes with my back a little bit, my lower
Does it
back.
really?
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe
Hmm.
well, you just said alleviates, but the way it crunches me when I go forward, because I know you go real deep, so I think maybe that could be it too.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
bro. I mean, it's all good information to think about for sure.
What are you doing pendulum in lieu of?
Hack squat, because I had a really bad hip issue
Sure.
from just burying hack squats for months and months and months on end. It's always hack squats, which have grown
Sure.
my quads. That's why they are what they are.
Yeah.
But I was having all kinds of overuse injuries from the hack squat.
Yep.
And so we just pulled off of it for a bit. We may go back to it. We'll see. But
Going back to the
it
pendulum
seems
though
like
is
it's most comfortable.
Yeah. I almost broke my
Only
ankle
the
this year
Atlantis,
for
though.
Devo.
yeah.
I wish I had the discipline to pull back on something like that. Devo, when we were training, we would bottom the fuck out of hacks. And I almost
Yeah.
I thought I broke my ankle this year. I had an ankle surgery, and I just kept pushing it. I kept pushing it, and it's one of those things where sometimes you got to take a break. Hey, I got to do a different machine, and the ego
Yeah,
just
man.
wants you
Live to
keep it
train
up.
another day is what
I
always
know.
say. It's like-
Oh, it's
I
tough.
always think about that last rep that you do, like the one that injures you,
Yep.
when you know it's like I really didn't need that rep. Like that literally
No.
wouldn't have made a difference. So it's like,
No.
fuck, man.
And
You
for the
know
You
next
who
always
week,
didn't
know.
train to really train like all the way out to failures? Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I just talked about this,
yeah,
and I've actually been training like I trained like Jay damn near the whole prep, and I was the most full round, no nagging pain, and I was probably saving like 2 or 3 reps. I hate to say a fucking number, but it was probably around that.
sure.
Um,
Fucking science
That'll
this
be
guy
clipped in
over
a
reps
week.
in
here.
reserve.
Yeah.
Fucking RIR.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
rear.
that like I would do like 3 straight sets of whatever working weight I chose, but each set got like closer and closer to that failure point. So that last set, I'm pretty much right there, but I never burned out my CNS. I never like felt like my joints and my tendons would hurt because I wouldn't force those extra reps.
That's
It
huge. Yeah.
was, yeah,
Was that a major like difference in your training from California to this season? Was your approach to
yes,
training?
yes. And then with that said, usually I pull back on volume because of that reason. I kept volume in the whole time, and I felt like I
Nice.
was rounder and fuller than ever.
Nice. That's
Um,
awesome, dude.
yeah,
Anyway,
so
going back,
Sorry.
going all the
Sorry,
way,
we trailblazed.
rewind all the way back to Tampa. Joe, obviously, we just talked a little bit about your training, but what was some major improvements you were looking to make this year in your front double coming into the show?
um, pretty much I had to make my waist look smaller.
Right.
So I actually stopped training abs. I needed to bring up my legs. And I
Yep.
felt that I did bring them up quite a bit. They still need more, but as you're seeing, like I'm evolving in my training and what I just explained. So I'm getting more out of it. I needed to bring up my arms a bit. Um,
Right.
so I felt like I brought all those things up, which helped my look a lot. My posing, literally like fuck, it was the day before the show, and my coach Justin was like, you know what, Joe, because we watched Fuad's podcast, and Paul on the
Yeah.
podcast was saying that he didn't like how I posed my legs, so I felt like it was going to hurt me, so I
Yeah.
should flare my legs out a little bit more compared to like the straight on look like Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
And so last minute, me and Justin were like, fuck, let's see if we can, because I have big adductors. So we tried to flare my legs out last minute. And I did it, but I did it way better in Texas because I had more than just a day to try to implement that.
Right.
So, yeah, just trying to get my legs to give the illusion of a better X frame because I
Right.
only grew them so much. I didn't have, like, you only have so much time to grow your muscles. So, legs they were behind already, so they started coming up, but it helped my look overall. That's all I did to bring up that front double.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and it's kind of awesome. You heard it from Paul and tried to make that change. I listened to that exact episode. I know what you're talking about, and that was like, it's just cool to hear the feedback. Then immediately it's like, oh shit, all right, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
We got to make some
Yeah.
adjustments here.
I mean, shit, he's a judge,
Right,
So
yeah,
like,
smart.
fuck, if he's
Right out
if
the
he's
horse's
saying that,
mouth.
I feel like I'm an idiot to not be open minded to what the hell that could do for my physique.
I
Right.
think it's always so funny when they got Paul on the pod. They always give Paul
Bro.
a hard time and shit. But like when Paul locks in about judging talk,
Yeah.
and like critiques, that motherfucker locks in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it about Paul.
Some crazy side chest from you boys over here. Jesus fucking Christ.
You guys are both so freaking full, and you guys said something earlier that you guys didn't push that much food going into both these shows. What was like? Don't give me your meal plan because I'm not gonna remember that shit for a peak week. But like around how many carbs and fats did you guys push when you were loading? Jordan, go
Joe
with you.
may be able to. Joe may be able to answer this better than me, bro. Because I don't even count them up. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd have to have Chris on the podcast to know. He leads the way. I mean, we keep sodium very consistent. We loaded sodium a little bit more for Texas, but and we just base it on how the body's going. Tampa, I wasn't as depleted prior to loading up, so we just didn't need as much. We maybe pulled water back a couple liters. It was like I was probably still on 4 liters of water. Maybe like, the day of the show we cut it back. The day prior to the show, I feel like it was like 500 mLs with meals, 6
Yeah.
meals, and then maybe 300, 250, 300 between meals, sometimes more. He just bases it on my look all day,
Oh
and
yeah.
we adjust water a lot. But my meals were never like 400 grams of rice. It was max like 370 on if we needed to fill hard. But then sometimes we'd pull way back to like one meal was like 210 grams of rice, which is like what, 75 grams of carbs on a
Something like
meal.
that.
So, and then, we load fats a little heavier just so it all sticks. I think the problem is I see a lot of guys that they're like, oh, we restricted water. I hardly drink any water, did diuretic. And then we did like 1,300 grams of carbs, virtually hardly any fats at all. And I'm like, how is the food going to stick to you?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not. Because
100%.
you need other things involved, or it's just you're going to be flat. So we just go more moderate, but I couldn't tell you exact numbers.
Yeah, no, I like that approach. Joe, what about you? How hard do you have to push? I mean, I can't imagine anything crazy because you're fucking most muscled person on that damn stage.
So the thing about my body is one thing is I get really dry.
Hmm.
So I can actually like I typically have like 2.5 to 3 liters of water the day of the show. I had 5 liters of water the day prior to the show. The week of like peak week, um, it was like 150 grams of rice per meal. And then the day before and the day of, it was 225 grams of rice. That's a cup and a half per meal. So the food stayed really low. And what that like, so the food stayed low, but I used other things. So, like I said, the water, sodium. I even used because I'm able to drink like fluid the day of the show. We even used a pump product before stepping on stage. So we used a pump product, and I also one thing I've never done that I did this year, but knowing that we weren't pushing food and how dry I was, I actually kept my GH in the whole way through.
That's something you don't
So
hear about
I
often
do
with
the
a
same
pump
thing.
product with water being there. That's
yeah,
actually I'm surprised to hear that.
yeah, it's one of those things like it's gonna volumize the muscle, right? Like
Hmm.
so I'm not necessarily having the food, but I have the liquid to push that volume. And so between that, the GH, the sodium, I was gonna come out rounder than if I didn't have it. So
Totally.
but then also the cool thing about it was my stomach stays super flat because I don't have food. It's
Yep.
just water,
Exactly.
so um
I feel like
we were
everybody
playing.
just goes that dogmatic approach, bro, of like what everybody else has done.
Yep.
Just like chew on ice cubes and stuff. And like, look at me and Joe. We were two of the
Mhm.
hardest guys on stage, and we didn't push hard, and we were full, and we still drank water. It
100%,
doesn't
dude.
mean you're dry just because you don't drink water.
Joe, your
Exactly.
fucking shoulders are fucking retarded, dude. Those are
Yeah,
heads.
that's me
Crazy.
100% full.
That's crazy.
Justin, I remember him making a statement saying that on stage I was about 30% full. So when people see my update pictures post show, I mean, I don't have nothing holding me back. So I'm just eating. Well, I'm eating more carbs, obviously, drink as much water as I want. So I'm fully full.
You were 185 pounds at one point.
Jesus Christ.
The lowest weight I've actually was at one point in my life when I was 19 years old, I was 145 pounds.
Holy cow.
Christ.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
guess
I don't have any pictures of that, but
I guess while we're clicking through, and then I kind of want to do this with you too, Jordan, if you don't mind. But
Yeah, of course.
Joe, while we're on your page first, what kind of got you into body? Like, what was your drive? Did you have like an athletic background? How did the competition mindset come around? What got you into bodybuilding?
so the right away when I played football in high school, we lift weights, right?
Right.
And right off the bat, I was one of the stronger guys, and I wasn't just stronger like in the beginning. It was I would touch weights and eat whatever the fuck I wanted, and I just blew up faster than anybody. I didn't know why. I was just like doing what everybody else was doing, and people would ask me, "Hey Joe, what are you doing this time?" I don't fucking know. I'm doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So and so in hindsight, I understand genetics now, right, and what that is.
Right.
But that was my favorite part of football. Like I was been a linebacker, and other than like hitting somebody as hard as possible, like I looked forward to working out every day. I loved the feeling of that pump, the swole feeling. I felt like the fucking man every time I walked out of the gym room into the little alleyway of the school.
Right.
And so I got a lot of injuries in football and stuff. And I was a good player, like I was probably no better than like Division II college player if I kept going, but I was like a football captain, all that stuff. And it just wasn't fun for me anymore when I kept getting hurt. I'm just
Yep.
like,
Right.
like I can't even play like where I'm mentally sound anymore because I'm just like, I'm just gonna fucking get hurt. So I got kind of like I finished high school, playing football, and I stopped working out completely for like a year because I was kind of depressed that I wasn't gonna play anymore. I decided it
Right.
wasn't fun. And I felt like I was missing something because once you're an athlete, if you just leave that and then
Yeah.
go into the real world and all you do is work and go home, it's fucking depressing. So
Hmm.
I'm like, what's missing, man? And I was like, you know what? I'm an athlete at heart, and I was like, I got to do something physical. So I was like, well, I love lifting weights in football, so I'll go back to it. So right away, my body started responding. I did more and more. Like I would learn more about it, more and more, and then I got to a point where I got so into it um, that. Well, let me start with this real quick. My dad passed away when I was 22, and I got real depressed. I was still
Damn.
always
Yeah.
working out hard. Got really depressed and went down the wrong way first and got into like just partying too much, drinking for all the wrong reasons. And then one day I made a fool of myself at a party, and I remember waking up the next morning just feeling just embarrassed, like didn't want to look in the mirror kind of thing. I was like, my dad would be fucking devastated if he saw this as the life I chose after he passed away. And so I decided to like put the bottle down, man the fuck up, and fix like my mental state. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I've always been brought up like mind, body, and soul. And so I was like, I got to fix my body because I was a party boy, like chubby and stuff, but I had some muscle. And so I decided to fix my body. And it took me literally 8 weeks. I got in the best shape of my I got in the best. We're talking about genetics, right?
Right. It's
So
just
I
shredded.
got the best shape of my life. And so I always tell everybody, yes, I worked out and I did all that stuff after high school, but I truly became a bodybuilder when I was 23 after
Yeah.
my dad passed away. That
Is
first year chose the wrong path and then got on the right one. And I've been, my life is elevated ever since. And, when
Yeah.
I stepped on the stage and I remember winning the Cal in 22,
Yep.
I looked up at the sky and I was like, we did it, Dad. I cried that morning when I made it to that show, and I felt like his presence with me. I just knew I was on the right path. So that's kind of my come up.
that's
Yeah,
amazing,
that's.
man.
I mean,
a great story.
that's fucking awesome. And what's huge about that is like some of those people don't have those like realizations till they're like 45, 50. And what do you do then? You kind of have to try and find fun hobbies, and you can still get into the gym. But like for you to like have that realization, like I am going down the wrong path now at 23, so young is like just such a huge thing for your growth, and like maturing at that age is crazy. So we're gonna.
It's pretty dope. Like going down that path, but then choosing the right one, right? And now it's like you have people messaging you like how much you inspire them to chase their dreams and stuff,
Right.
and that you motivate them, and it's dope to see you thrive and all that. Um, but then it's like I got to go down into the Texas audience and hold my son up. My son will
Right.
forever see that picture and know that's what
Wow.
his dad was
Yeah.
compared to what I could have been.
Yeah.
Right.
And like there's no better feeling than knowing that, and that I went from that to be able to have that moment with him. And so he'll know my story one day too. And it's just that's the example I get to lead for my son.
I love that, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Good for you, man.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that makes me want to work harder. God damn. All right, Jordan.
Makes me want to have a kid.
All right, Joe
I
set
knew
the
Joe was going to be a good dad. I told him that a long time ago.
Thank you, man.
100%.
Thank
You seem like it, brother.
Well,
Thank you so
Jordan,
much.
the same question's going to come your way. Joe set a tough bar.
You better step it up, buddy.
So
Step it the fuck up.
I want
I
a good
have a
story.
very similar story to Joe. It
Yeah.
started with football.
Get
Sure.
into it, brother.
So-
Let's hear it.
And I'm
Yeah,
going to click around so our fans can kind of see, you if they don't know you. So just ignore what I'm clicking on. You keep doing your thing.
No, absolutely. So I had played basketball since the age of 4. I grew taller when I was in like middle school.
Sure.
I was this height at like 13, 14, probably 14. I was a crazy as far as athletic ability, like I could dunk the basketball two hands at,
That's awesome.
5'9". I was really fast. I was but I didn't have a ton of talent in basketball. Like I always played the big man positions, and then by the time everyone grew past me and I'm still 5'10", like I've got to play point guard or shooting guard. This sucks, and I don't think there's any future in this. So my junior year, I played football for the first time, and I had like, raw athletic ability, but nothing to do with it because I didn't play football until that year. So it was just, I wished I could have gone back and played more football, but what that did get me was into the gym, like Joe. Whereas prior to that year in football, I actually hated weight training of any kind.
Sure.
And I remember doing P90X at home just so that
Nice.
I could have a little bit of muscle. And
Sure.
then, at the end of the P90X video, they're talking about creatine and nutrition and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, I'll never learn all this stuff. I'll never get big. Like, it's just there's so much to this. I'll never have a decent bit of muscle on me. And I remember when I first started working out, watching one of my soccer buddies bench 135 for 10 reps. I'm like, I'll never be able to do that, man. Because I was like 155, 160, So I started training around 17. It's the same exact thing that Joe experienced. It was like, okay, I'm starting to have fun with this. I'm eating whatever I want. I still have abs. And I just gained 30 pounds of muscle naturally in like 6 months. Or 8 months, however long it was, like just added weight on like nothing else, and just eating McDonald's pre-workout.
Those were the good old days, bro.
You know what I mean?
Those are the
Best
fucking
days.
good old days.
2 double cheeseburgers and a McChicken on the way into the gym, and then grab a burrito on the way home. Like,
Oh, yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
it was so much fun. And so I just kept doing it. And then I was training at a YMCA, and
Nice.
these guys there that were into bodybuilding were like, dude, your genetics are crazy. You need to compete. So I did my first show in 2015 after a couple years of training. And it was the Carolina Supernatural drug tested natty show. And after that, I was totally hooked. I was like, I'm doing this for real.
Yeah.
And then my first NPC show was 2017, and then went on from there. I did 2017. I competed in 2018. I did a 3-year off season after that, and then 2021 I won USA's. I went pro. So
After your
that was kind of like my story.
your first natural show, that was 2015, right?
Yeah,
And then first NPC show was 2017.
yeah. So I
Gotcha.
I was enhanced as of like mid 2016.
Yep, you answered my question. Wonderful.
Late 2016.
Attaboy, 100%. Well, how old were you in 2016?
Let's see. I would have been 21.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
I did P90X and Insanity back in the day. So when I saw
Yep.
Sean T out there dancing, I was like, "Damn it, Sean, you got me in shape.
Yeah,
stop,
dude, I know.
stop dancing out
Shouldn't
there."
like this.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
P90X helped me not be fat because I ate Taco Bell all the time back
dude.
in
I'd
high
be.
school.
I'd have that pull-up bar in the door with the fucking With what was his name? What was the P90X guy's name?
I don't remember.
Tim. Was it like?
He had way too much energy for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Way too
remember
much.
he was the first guy that I remember I saw his arms though, and I was like, "Damn, I want arms like that." So I'm gonna start doing these workouts.
Yeah.
And then from there,
All
it's
the
just been
plyometrics is going to
Yeah.
get you arms like that.
right,
Yeah,
right,
100%.
right, doing push-ups in my kitchen. Like,
Good
why?
old.
Why isn't it working? Anyways,
I actually wanted to ask Jordan you a quick question. So first of all, congratulations on the 2 pro wins this year. Your look
Thank
has
you,
been
man.
absolutely outstanding, dude. You're one of my favorite physiques to watch. The conditioning from the posterior has been absolutely spectacular this year. So I first really have just gotten into bodybuilding the past 3 years. So I saw you pop up like a year ago, and seeing you from doing a pro show compared to last year to this year, I feel like the conditioning is not only improved, but you've put on tissue in all the right spots, like you said, right? And you got more in the arms this year that helped you with the front double. It looked like you put some nice size on as a whole. So
Balanced.
what do you feel like has been the shift, or maybe not a shift? What has been the difference over the past year that's allowed you to have such a productive off season?
So funny because this was the off season that I didn't think I was going to make any progress. So what happened is very interesting, and what we learned is I can grow much more efficiently if I stay lean and insulin sensitive and don't push it too hard. So try to make this as short as possible. I get off stage in August of last year from Texas Pro. And then I needed to get gyno surgery. Like it wasn't a big need, but it was a need for me. I knew at some point it needed to happen. I had it present at 12 years old, and then it progressed. So like I didn't want to look at it anymore. Most people said it wasn't a big deal, but whatever. So I had a lot of travel. I had to travel with GASP to Sweden and the UK for like 11 days in September, October. And then in October, I went to Olympia. So my surgery got pushed all the way back to end of October. And we always just run a health phase after prep, get healthy, stay lean as possible before we push an off season. So then I had mad surgery complications, fluid in both sides from training too early because the doctor said, "Oh, you're good to go train. Just don't train chest. You tell a guy like me to go train, I'm going to go train." And so I had all that, extend no training for 5 weeks.
Damn.
Then like 3 weeks after I got back in there, I got bad pneumonia. It was in my lungs for like 6 weeks.
Oh shit.
So there was an extended period off training for that. And then when I was training, I could hardly breathe.
Oh.
Dude, I don't know how we made this amount of progress other than we stayed a lot leaner. We didn't have to push the food. I was more efficient with recovery. We really honed in on sleep.
Yeah.
Like I was so anal about my sleep all year long. Like I never having a late night up. We just didn't allow my body to get fat.
Yeah.
And I was healthy all year. I was healthier. I felt better. Blood pressure was better. Like I always have pretty good blood pressure, but I was like surprisingly low. And then, the off season before I pushed to 303 morning weight. This last off season, I only got to 294. And truly so Texas Pro of 23, I was like 247, something like that. And Tampa this year, I was around 264. I was around like 259, 260 at Texas.
Yeah.
And harder conditioning than last year. So I know I at least put 10 pounds on. But we were really efficient with training and recovery.
Yeah.
And training the right way. It wasn't anything special as far as, if people think it's pushing gear or whatever, like it's not. Like it really was a matter of recovery, sleep, training smart, not just wasting my time burning out my CNS with barbell rows or whatever else. And I know Joe has made the same kind of approach to his training because at some point we have so much muscle, we can get hurt under heavy loads really easily now. And so we just played it smart and stayed injury free and stayed really efficient with food. And it all worked out.
I think it's so crazy too, especially when you mentioned just now, like it wasn't like you did anything crazy with drugs. Same thing with you, Joe. You guys, I think people sometimes miss that when it comes to like you guys being at the level that you are. Sometimes just keeping things, just refining the most simple things that both of you have mentioned this entire podcast. It just like drugs are just always another variable in our sport. Okay, they're going to be there, they're not going to be there, whatever. You get so much more out of your off seasons and your time on prep when you're keeping oxidative stress low. You're getting fat off early because you've stayed lean in the off season. Like that, I honestly think, bro, because you kept like your sleep was up to par. Your training was very, very dialed and just intricate. That's why you made such amazing progress in a short period of time. Even though the first half of the year was all fucked up, it wasn't anything with drugs. It was like people are always going to point the finger at drugs, but they don't want to take a step back and realize it comes down to your fucking sleep, your recovery.
Well, dude, like people wouldn't even believe, like for my prep until 3 weeks out, we didn't go over 75 mgs of orals.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't think I went over 260 trend on the entire prep.
Oh, wow.
Bro,
So it's like,
That's awesome.
And people assume, and you get the comments online, and it's just, and they won't believe me if I say that. They don't care, because they assume it's that trends used in off season too. Like, I don't want to make this a whole, gear thing, but like it's not about that.
No.
Everybody, you see these guys that say they train hard, and they're training hard from their perspective, but they're not training right, and they're not putting the effort in the right place where it needs to be. They're just frying their CNS, just making it hard for the sake of making it hard, and they're not really doing the same thing. Like they'll see a big guy like Joe, and they'll see him doing, pressing 4 plates per side on some movement. They're like, well, I do that for the same reps. No, you and Joe are not doing the same thing. He's moving his chest in a way that is entirely different than the way you're doing it. And so I think it's really beneficial to understand, like what you said about oxidative stress too. Like a healthier body, you can do this for longer. You'll continue to gain the same amount of muscle per year, and you won't blow your career,
Totally. Dude, that I loved everything you put it there, man. It's like it's one of those things where I like how through social media a lot of stuff has become more transparent with health, with gear usage, with blood work, stuff like that. And that what you just said is a clear example of, and same thing with Samson winning the Olympia, how they did blood work so diligently going up to the Olympia. Keeping things simple, reading the body for what it was, what it was responding like. That's huge, man. Would you, with your prep this year, would you say, because we were just touching on drugs there, were you on similar amounts as you were last year, or were even less? Because you said Trent didn't even get above, 260 per week?
Yeah, and that's just to protect sleep. We did higher growth to test.
Yeah.
But I think my orals were lower this year. So, it's like, I don't know. It's just not beneficial for you to, what's going to happen when your blood work starts looking bad and your cholesterol is terrible and your liver enzymes are terrible? Like, you're not going to process everything the same. Your body's going to start freaking out on you. It's just not worth it, So, and everybody knows that Chris Tuttle is my coach, and he's very much more conservative. Yeah. And it's worked for me. I've been with him almost 6 years. And I trust him. And he always thanks me. He's like, I really appreciate that you don't go and listen to people that are pushing things way too hard and try to go a different direction with just being irresponsible. Because I want to do this for as long as I can, man. I'm not trying to blow it in 2 years.
There's
not worth it.
There's guys that have to pull out a prep because they're taking even a bunch of peptides on what their coach is telling them to do for gear. Right. I know a couple guys that couldn't even compete at nationals because they gave themselves rhabdo with just not listening to their coach. Too much stress in their body with. But it's like it just comes down to listening to the best of the best. It won't fail you especially with what you're talking about.
I was going to say that actually leads me into my next question that I had for Jordan. Sorry, doubling down on this one.
Oh, you're good.
So Olympia's coming up in a few weeks, man. I kind of want to hear it from you. Where do you set the expectation this season? Are you going into this year? You're a competitive guy. It sounds like, where do you want to finish up this year? Where do you see yourself placing?
I really want top 10, and people, I've been on podcasts where they'll start naming off guys. Oh, can you beat this guy? Can you beat that guy? And I respect all of these guys I compete with so much.
100%.
And half of them I've been a fan of, like these Olympia guys that I'm going up against now. I've been a fan of theirs since before I was a pro. And so Sass Harati, I was watching him on the Stairmaster for my prep in 2018.
Wow.
And now I'm going to go on stage with him, And so I don't like to say who I'm going to beat or not, but I really think that I could place realistically in the top 10.
Yeah.
But obviously we have to bring my absolute best. And the biggest thing for me is actually getting stand next to certain people. And I think Joe's the same. Joe though is a freak of muscle. So it's hard to miss Joe. But I'm one of I have the muscle now that I didn't have last year. And I have the shape, I have the conditioning. Yep. I'm just very balanced. So when you go into an Olympia lineup and you've got these guys with this freak factor muscle group like Rubiel with his legs, it's how do you miss that? The individual rounds are first, and they see these guys that are just have these wow factors. my wow factor is almost that I'm so balanced and conditioned, and sometimes it gets missed if you don't really get next to the right guys or get the right look from the judges. But I truly believe that I could get in the top 10.
Yeah.
And that's my goal for this year. Obviously, I want to go as high as I possibly can, but I think for my first Olympia, top 10 is a good goal.
I was gonna say, man, we always do our early predictions, and I'm gonna put a little pressure on you. I need you to break top 8 for me because that's where I got you right now.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
I think it's doable.
You've had an incredible season. But then I kind of wanted to transition into Joe, dude. Like when I first saw your physique this year, I literally told my buddy Devo, I'm like, dude, that is like a spitting image of like a Nick Walker-esque like muscularity, density, dude. Your physique is like Jordan said, you can't miss it. So what do you feel like you need to do now that you're in the off season going into 2026 to really separate yourself from the pack and really break into that Olympia level group?
Honestly, my main focus right now is giving the best illusion of a smaller waist possible.
Yeah.
And so I've had the judging panel tell me literally all I need to do is bring up my legs, my sweeps in particular,
Yep.
and that's going to completely change the way my shape looks from the front.
Yeah.
So between and then personally, I think my goal for myself is bring up my arms too. I have big arms, but I know I can get them bigger, and just that with the big sweeps will just make my front shots look really crazy.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Um,
nuts, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that I'm not worried about conditioning. I'm not worried about honestly anything else other than the sweeps in my arms. So I've been mainly focused on that, and then whatever posing changes I need with that newer physique. And I think I'm gonna make a lot of noise next year, more than I did this year. I think I will be, like Jordan said, in that top 10 of the Olympia
Yeah.
next year
Fuck
if I
yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
Let's fucking
Sorry,
go.
when I do that, because
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Talk it into existence. Let's go.
Have you guys kind of been looking at a timeline for next year to qualify at all? Earlier on, middle of the season, or what are you thinking? Or until it's like, you know what? Yeah, it's ready visually. Let's do it. Or are you just depending
me
on
first or
visuals?
Jordan?
Yeah. Yeah, you Joe.
So my original plan was 100% to repeat what I did this year
Yeah.
until after the show, Justin kind of told me that based on my body's response in the past and how my rebounds look and stuff, he's like, let's hold off on committing to like a full on no matter what we're doing until January. He's like, I want to see what you look like in January, and then we'll make the call from there to maybe even do something as early as Detroit or like the New York Pro.
Yeah.
But right now,
Let's go,
my-
baby.
yeah, my mind is like just all I care about is to make sure that I have the improvements the next time
Yeah.
I step on stage.
100%.
If I get them earlier than expected, cool, because I mean that's dope. But at the same time, I'm in no hurry.
Yeah.
I've never been in a hurry. This is the long game for me.
Um,
So if I have a better chance of solidifying those new gains that I do make by waiting a little bit longer, I'd rather do that. But this is one of those things that like I literally just got to play it by what we see.
Yep.
When
For
it
sure.
comes to waist protocols, we've heard it like a lot of different people, and I know Nick and I were just talking about this when we were posing on Friday night. But like vacuum protocols, constantly vacuum. Are you doing anything like that, or is that involved in your control of the waist?
I do vacuums here and there, but I also in the like last third, I guess, of my off season,
Yeah.
I completely stopped training abs, and my
Sure.
waist shrunk from just that.
Right.
I'm the kind of guy like you guys said. I'm a lot like Nick, and my body will just grow. Like I've been like that since I
Right.
told you guys in high school. I don't know what the fuck. It's dope, but yes. But I need to be very diligent on the exercise that I choose, and like for example, back. I won't do anything that's not chest supported. That's helped a lot.
Right.
So just completely negating my obliques from any movement, like getting rid of that engagement. No bent over movements like RDLs and stuff. I don't do none of that.
oh, really?
Even
I'm cutting
squats,
those out
like
too.
Yeah.
like last year. Last year I completely stopped doing like heavy Smith squats, completely transitioned into hack squat because there's way less engagement of my core. And I stopped training super heavy too, more moderate, more volume. So just that itself, all those variables detrained my obliques. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that they atrophied or anything, but they just stopped getting bigger and everything else got bigger.
Right.
So
Because
that
people,
itself
yeah,
helped a ton.
people don't realize just, your obliques are so active with bracing and
Mhm.
stabilizing with so many exercises.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you'll tell them, hey, don't train abs. They're like, no, I won't. I won't. But they don't realize, like, you have to be kind of conscious about your core control while you're training
Mhm.
on anything. Like even I get it when I'm doing a like a chest supported row or something, and the pad is higher up of my chest and it's not really supporting my core at all. I got to think to myself, all right, what am I doing with my abs right now?
Yeah.
Am I tightening up around my serratus and my obliques? All right, Nick, knock it off. It comes down to that pinpoint, diligentness with your training. 100%. That's good.
It's tough too. I've been doing the same thing, especially you'll notice if you look at my pictures from Tampa to Texas, my midsection is tighter and my ab and thigh is better. And that was literally just a week of obsessing about core control.
Yeah.
So that's actually my biggest thing that I'm doing right now, is extreme low volume core training 5 days a week. Like very low volume. It takes me like not even 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that along with just being conscious of the core, like you're talking about, Nick, like it really has to be throughout the workout. You have to, every single thing you do, not allow yourself to just blow your stomach out because you're just focused on the movement. It's very difficult,
Yeah.
but it works.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, you said low volume core training. What would that entail?
So it's 2 sets of hanging leg raises with my stomach like belly button to spine.
Sure.
And as soon as my forearm or my stomach starts to not be able to tuck in, like as soon as it starts to go, I stop. And then I do 2 sets of something called McGill curls. I don't know if you've ever done them, but you lay
No.
down on your back with like one leg out, and it's basically like an ab and thigh on the floor with a little space in your lower back between you and the floor, and you just come up and it's just taking the upper back part of it's a slight crunch, almost hitting an ab and thigh, pulling your belly button to your spine, and I do 30 of those, 2 sets, and then I do 2 sets of side planks for 30 seconds. Well, one on each side, just one on each side.
Sure.
And then I do that 5 days a week. Plus, I do ab and thighs in the mirror daily, and then I'm doing like 30-second holds of keeping my core cinched as tight as I can in the mirror, and then of course ab vacuums. So it's like a huge, heavy focus for me.
100%. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Especially, too, on top of that, dude, one of the easiest things, like, especially in the off-season, as you're growing, you guys can attest to this, is keeping your gut health in check. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you're not bloated and distended all the time, and having massive amounts of volume of food in your stomach. That can be a huge factor of growing the waist or keeping it tight.
100%.
Yeah,
I actually
that's
had
another thing too. Not chasing that crazy amount of size. And I've like the last 4 or 5 years, I've been trying to get to pro level size. You saw where I started, so not having to push food as high. Like last year, we pushed food, but not to the extent that we did the year prior, and that helped just itself. So this year, I mean, he told me we're not going to get past 290. So I mean, last year I got to like right below 300, and that within itself helps. So if we stay in the 290s, I'm sure my waist will stay tighter just because of that.
For sure. Absolutely. You got something to ask, Lance?
Yeah, I was actually just going to take a little spin off bodybuilding for a second. Something I always like to ask you guys, because, I mean, obviously, you're both professionals. It's your full-time job, and it's what you both love to do. I guess we'll start with you, Joe. What do you do to kind of, like, I guess, separate from bodybuilding? Like, do you have any hobbies outside of the sport? Like, kind of, just to take a break from it, what do you kind of do?
Thing is, Gasp had this event, and they asked me the same question.
Yeah.
I'm such a simple man. I'm a homebody myself, so
Yeah.
the most exciting shit that I look forward to is like once we get into that off season stuff where I kind of relax a little bit. Is every single Saturday I'll take my wife somewhere, whether it's dinner, movie, whatever. We'll for sure do dinner. I like having a cheat meal with her every Saturday.
Right.
And just spending time with her, coming home, spending, now I have my son, so just doing activity with them, at least on the weekends, and get away from bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. What about you, Jordan?
Man, me and Joe are a lot alike. I will say that. It's it's about being with my wife, and
Yeah.
we have two cats and a dog, and we love being at home. Like Sundays today is my day with my wife. You know, we don't really plan much of anything usually. Obviously, I'm in prep, so I can't eat. But like we love to figure out what new place here in Texas. We moved here back in into 2023, and there's so much good food out here. So we love to find new places to eat or places that we already love and just share that with each other because she eats just like I do and she trains just like I do, 6 meals a day. So we're always on the same schedule. So she gets a cheat meal every week. And we really just enjoy that together. But we both like to just chill at the house and just relax and be away from everybody. Like she just sent me some TikTok of this girl that was talking about. I don't understand how husbands and wives have to get away from each other.
Yeah.
It's like all I want to do is get away from everybody else to be with my husband. And I was like, it's so special that she's that way because honestly, you know, we're literally at the house all day, every day together, and we don't drive each other crazy.
Right.
Obviously, there's little nitpicks here and there, but like, you know, I just love to be with her. I love to, you know, I'm very busy with everything I do. I wear a lot of hats. It's not just being a bodybuilder. I coach. I have a lot of sponsored obligations. I do all my own content, editing, all that. So I'm very busy, but she helps me out. But with the downtime I do have, I don't really have any hobbies other than, you know, just spending time with her and finding a good movie to watch. If you guys have suggestions, DM me because there's nothing good on.
Oh, I just
But-
Say
watched.
less. I was gonna say, what's your movie genre of choice? Like, what do you lean into?
I mean, it's going to be opposite. That's the funny part is me and Britt we don't pick the same stuff. I like Harry Potter, Star Wars.
Fuck yeah, baby.
that's
Let's
kinda
go.
guy.
You know,
Yeah,
Lord
yeah.
of the Rings, whatever. Can't
Yes.
get her into it.
We're
I've
all
tried.
nerds, dude. We're all nerds.
Same,
I'm
bro.
a total geek.
Same, man. Same.
Joe, are you into movies?
Yeah, I love the horror genre. So I
Oh, really?
like the Conjuring
I mean-
kind of shit or Insidious
Oh,
and all that.
the new
Like,
Conjuring's coming out,
yeah,
dude.
bro, I'm super excited for that. Like my wife loves all that shit. That was one of the things we bonded over right away. Like, oh, thank God, you're one of those. Sweet.
One of those
We're the opposite,
psychopaths.
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
I can't do it. I'm a big baby.
we were just talking
Same.
on the podcast about how the guy that owned the Annabelle doll just died while on tour with the Annabelle doll.
bro.
And then Matt Rife bought the museum that the Annabelle doll stays in. We're like, we want to do a podcast there.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, fun fact. Last night, we went to, cause I'm in Vegas right now for
Sure.
my family, and we went to Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum. It's like my
Nice.
third time
Oh,
going.
nice.
But it was cool for like seeing all that stuff and
Yeah.
that energy. It's weird, but I like her nieces were all scared and shit. And there was like a room where it's like the Zach was like saying how he won't step in there anymore because it like really messed with his life. And so literally only two people went in to go see it, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, it's up to you guys who want to go. My wife was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then I stayed behind. And they're like, Joe, you coming? And I was like, no, I'm gonna go see it. They're like, what the fuck? And so I go, and me and this other person go. We see it. We come out. Joe, you weren't scared? I'm like, no, honestly, I truly believe. Like, say that shit's real, right? Say it's like there's
Right.
actually like I'm like, you know what? Like, if you truly believe you have God in your heart and stuff, like you're fearless. Like nothing
Yeah.
can hurt you. So.
God
agree
in
with
your
you
heart
on
and
that,
260 pounds of 100% grass
Yeah,
fed.
ain't no one-
Yeah, all right, Ghost, what you got, bitch?
You're fucking
Yeah.
bulletproof.
Run, bro.
Annabelle's.
You gotta run. You're screwed.
Yeah, no,
That's true.
Chucky comes around the corner. He's gonna throw him through the wall. What are you talking about? No running.
You like that paranormal stuff, though? Yeah, we've talked a lot of paranormal on this
I
podcast,
can't do that
bro.
stuff myself.
I like the paranormal stuff.
I'm with you, bro.
Bro, Devo's house,
start.
Devo's old house used to be crazy haunted.
We lived in a house for 3 years when I was a kid, like in high school age, that was actually haunted, and every day was something crazy going on, whether it was a voice being called, lights cutting out, shower turning on,
I'd have been gone
all
day
this
one.
shit all the time. We lived in it for 3 years, and like my family just jokes every time we get together. Like, remember that one time we lived for 3 years in a real fucking haunted house?
The house that I'm in right now, there's a room right to my left.
Yeah,
It's my wife's niece's room, and there's a video. She's doing like a little TikTok thing,
sure.
and in the video, there's a Nike slide in the back that literally just turns on its own.
No,
And they caught it. They caught it on camera, and they showed me. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
no way, bro.
I'd have been packing a week later.
Demons following you home from Zach Baggins Museum, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's crazy when you catch that shit on camera. Like the odds of it is, wow, it's fucking wild.
We on Mother's Day, we ended the podcast. I called my mom, and then he called his mom, and they're like, "Hey, just like tell a story about the podcast about one of us." But his mom like confirmed all the ghost stories.
Yeah.
Like everything that he said. She's like, "Yeah, we used to live in a house, and there was always our names would be called. We'd hear a baby crying or some shit." Like she was saying, it's so normal. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, my dad.
Bro, the scariest shit that
How do
I
you
think
sleep?
I mean, that I was gonna say the scariest shit that I have experienced so far in my life was like 2 years ago. I was at my ex's house, and they had a staircase, right? So she's getting ready with her sister upstairs before we left somewhere put their makeup on. So I'm downstairs with her other sister in the kitchen, and I'm talking to her sister, and then out of nowhere I finally hear a Joe. And then I kind of like, I'm still talking to her sister. And then I hear another Joe. And I was like, what? And I didn't get a response. And I was like, hold on. I was like, let me go see what your sister wants. So I go upstairs, and she looks at me. She's like, what? I was like, you're calling me. She's like, Joe, no, I wasn't. She was like, as a matter of fact, like my sister was changing right before you came in. Like you could have seen my sister naked. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude, I swear to God, I heard like my name called twice. You called my name twice. And then I asked her other sister I was like, hey, didn't you hear my name? She's like, yeah, I heard it too. And they're like, no fucking way. Like from upstairs, I heard it.
Whoa.
And so yeah, not only did I just hear it, she did too.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did not call my name.
I had not something scary happen to me, but it was happened to my mom and I've seen I've seen 2 ghosts or paranormal things in my life. Like one when I was growing up, but this most recent one was my mom came to visit me here. We're all in Milwaukee, and I just got a new house. And before we were moving in, so I went to go to the house to go show her. And then I'm about 4 blocks from Lake Michigan. So I'm like, hey, let's go walk down Lake Michigan. And we're at the top, like this part of Lake Michigan is just this massive cliff overseeing the lake and a beach down below. It's like the springtime, so there's no foliage on the trees, nothing. So you can see all the way down this cliff, or this massive hill to the beach. Okay, you can see the people down there doing whatever. And we're sitting on top. Nobody is going up and down this path to get down to the lake. Nobody. Okay, we're right at the top, just talking, looking out at the lake, and we decided to walk down there. So we're snaking down this path, and it's like a paved path. It's like you could fit a small car down it, just going side to side down this hillside. And we get to the last like 50 yards of it, and now there's nobody that started on the path with us at all. And we see this old man in front of us. I'm like, what the heck? And the guy, I knew exactly what he was wearing. He had a cane. He had like an old baseball cap on, and he was smoking a cigar because we could smell the cigar. We're like 50 yards behind him. And we just don't think anything of it, and he's walking slow. We get to the end. We get to the beach, and there's just other people out at the beach that were down there before. And I'm looking up and down the beach line, and nobody's there. Like, the old man's not there. And I'm like, what the heck? So then I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, I asked some guy, I'm like, hey, did you see some guy, like, walk down? Like, I wasn't trying to be nosy, but it was just weird. I'm like, he's not hiding in the woods. Like, I'd see somebody just sitting in the woods. There's no other trails. And my mom's, too, like, yeah, where'd this guy go? We weren't that far behind him. He was walking slow. We would have caught up to him. We would see him walking up and down the beach if he was down there. So then these people on the beach are like, no, we didn't see anybody come down besides you guys. I'm like, what the heck? So then I go out to this pier. I walk to the end of it, look up and down. He's not there. We walk up the hill again, maybe 15 minutes later. Okay. And we sit in the same bench for another 10 minutes talking. Nobody came up that path. Okay. So then we walk back to my truck, and At this point, there's nobody out in this park. Like this massive field. You got public restrooms. You got a park. People were out there playing. Nobody's there. We get to my truck, and we smell the cigar again. And I look around.
Shit.
Bro, I look around, and there's nobody there. Swear to God. And it's a windy day, so it's not like it's coming from a nearby house, okay? It's not like somebody's, just drove by and smoked a cigar, but it was there. My mom, to this day, she's like, yeah, that was 100% something paranormal. It was crazy, dude. Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. That shit's real.
Yeah.
That shit's real.
Anyways.
Crazy.
But I believe in that stuff from my own perspective. I'm a Christian myself, so like,
Oh, yeah.
I believe in demonic stuff, so that's why I generally don't mess with it for as far as movies and stuff go.
That's the goal.
I don't think it's wrong,
Dude.
but I just think like I'd rather not because I believe it's 100% real.
That's
I get you.
That's later on
That's
in
why
life.
I watch it, because it scares the shit out of me.
Right. That's what we found out later on, years later after we moved out of the house and we are kind of all grown adults. My dad was like, he's like 6'4", 260 pounds, just a big old guy. So during when we lived in the house, he was never like, he would just be like, no, it's just the wind or like something like that. Later in life, then he finally admitted, he's like, yeah, shit got a little weird, huh? like the showers turning on wasn't the wind anymore. And then later, my sisters admitted, because Jordan, you said you don't mess with it. My sisters, they were like crawling in the crawl space of that house and doing like Ouija boards and shit. And I was like, well, no wonder the house is haunted, you bitches.
Your sisters are fucking crazy.
Right on in. Come on in.
Yeah, 6 and 12-year-old just fucking sitting in the crawl space of a house with a Ouija board. Psychos.
See, that's where I draw
No
the
wonder.
line. Fuck that shit.
Same.
Yeah,
No,
hell
none
yeah.
of it.
Anyways, we'll
Even
get back
though, like,
on.
you walked down the fucking Target game aisle, and there's just Ouija boards right there and shit.
Yeah.
For
I
anybody
couldn't
to
believe.
have.
That's what. You know what? That's a crazy point. I was like, where did you guys get this? And they're like, Target. And I was like, what? What? Target's just the devil,
evil.
dude. Yeah.
Target's demonic.
And it says like 6 to 12-year-old on it or like whatever. And it's like, what? This is a child's game? Are you fucking
Jesus.
kidding me?
That's
Anyways.
nuts, dude.
Yeah.
No, but
Anyway.
get back on what you're about to say, Devo.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna get us back on back on track.
I got one for both
Yeah,
you
go
big
ahead.
boys. What's the favorite cheat meal in the offseason?
Yep, that's what I was gonna ask too.
I want full order. Don't hold back. Desserts and everything.
Death row style meal.
We'll pretend Chris isn't
Bro.
listening.
Yeah, if Chris isn't listening, it's going to be pizza, 100% pizza.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whether it's, and I love chain pizza. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
Yeah. What do you
Pizza
get?
Hut, Papa John's is awesome. But like, it depends on what I'm in the mood for. If I'm just trying to chill with the movie at the house, I rarely get pizza because it just sticks to me and makes me
Gut bomb.
fat. But
Gut bomb.
but it's my favorite thing because it's
Yeah.
nostalgic for me, and we've got some really good pizza places here in Texas that aren't chain pizzas. But if I could have my way, it's pizza and donuts or pizza and cinnamon rolls, bro.
Pizza and
I would go
cinnamon
off on
rolls.
that.
kind
You
of,
see those Reese's cinnamon rolls from Cinnabon that
That's
came
Dude,
out?
I've seen them. Yes, oh my
Fuck,
God.
course
man.
he
Even I
has.
haven't had it. I'm like, fuck.
There's this place I heard about here too, Joe. When you come here in the off season, you have to try it. Cody from Destination was Cinnaholic. He sent a
Oh,
picture
I
of
seen
Brit. They're
that.
like this big. Yeah, crazy.
Whoa.
Do you have
Saw
a
that on TikTok.
Duck's Donuts out there by you?
Dude, I
I've
don't
heard of
like
it.
Duck Donuts.
Really?
What is
They're
it?
all the same donuts with different toppings on it.
See, I haven't had it. I've just heard people
Dude,
raving about
skip
it.
out on that. You're
When,
good.
when it comes to donuts, I don't do chain donuts. Like chain pizza, yeah, for sure. But chain
Well-
donuts, I'm not a huge chain donut guy.
Krispy
Gotta find a mom
Kreme
and pop.
though.
Krispy
Yeah,
Kreme.
Yeah, I was like, that's an argument.
Yeah.
Dunkin'
I'd say
Donuts
you made it
trash.
quick. Yeah.
See, I'm not
Yeah.
a Krispy Kreme versus like some lady
See, I
who's got a
couldn't-
bakery.
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, Krispy Kreme has this like New York cheesecake donut that's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
amazing.
I've
Again,
it's
it's
never had one.
nostalgic, bro. Like
Plain.
Krispy
Alright, I'll
Kreme,
give you that.
McDonald's, Pizza Hut. It's stuff I'll never
Yeah.
get rid of because it's
Wow,
Oh,
Legendary.
dude, you're speaking my language right now, my man. Dude,
Bro,
you can't go wrong with the basics.
Taco Bell.
Bro, I was just gonna say, like,
I'm loving
my
this.
my wife, she's never been with anybody my size, so we go to Taco Bell in the off season, and she was our order's like $65. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Damn, we just spent that much at Taco Bell." I was like, I'm like 300 pounds right now. Like, this is nothing.
Okay.
This is nothing. Just
I
watch.
love it, bro. Me
What-
and Britt do Taco Bell trips in the off season too, and my coach judges me so hard.
What?
He's like, you know, there's good taco places out here, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're
yeah,
like,
they're
yeah,
not
I'm at
Taco
one.
Bell.
I've
not
heard you
Taco
guys.
Bell.
I've heard the Fuad McDonald's like order that he always talks about. So you guys brought it up. Taco Bell.
Oh.
Joe, what's your $65 Taco
Yeah,
Bell
no
order?
shit. What are you getting?
So they have these like so the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Oh,
I
easy.
get that
Basic,
with,
yep.
with
Yeah.
but I put double meat on that.
Yep.
Nice.
And they have this like I get two of the extra large like steak quesadilla burritos. It's like
Nice.
it's no steak grilled cheese, I think is what it's called.
Sure.
And then I'll have two chicken chalupas
Nice.
and burrito supreme. I think
Nope.
that was the last.
No beefy 5-layer in there.
Of course.
No, honestly, I bro, in my freshman year, every single day I went to Taco Bell with $5, and I would always get the beefy 5-layer burritos.
Yeah.
So I just burned myself out and tried some other shit.
It's like when you've had a bad alcohol and you've thrown up on it and you can't go back and drink it.
Yeah,
You
you just gotta go
had
back.
too much. All right, Jordan, what's your Taco Bell order?
Oh, bro, I didn't know you could order extra meat on a crunch wrap. I'm gonna have to try that because
Yeah.
I will always get a crunch wrap. I'll get a chalupa supreme.
Yeah.
I'll get quite a few tacos supreme, like hard and soft tacos.
Yep.
I'll get whatever like new stuff they got that's come out that's interesting, some kind of burrito. Sometimes I'll get a beefy 5-layer burrito.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just get a bunch, and usually I clean up. But like sometimes I'm like this. I gotta say, I'm a sweet tooth, so I try not to go crazy because I know if I go crazy, I'm still gonna want what. Like my wife likes to make homemade stuff in the off season. She'd make like pumpkin rolls, or I don't know. She's big on sourdough bread right now, but like
Everybody's big on sourdough bread right now.
Dude,
Jesus.
she's the plug around here. But like, she'll make some like desserts and stuff, and I can't fill up like crazy. But the must-haves are definitely crunch wrap,
Yep.
a chalupa or two, some soft and hard shell tacos. Got to be supreme because you can't go without the sour cream,
Right.
and then some kind of burrito for sure.
You guys are making
And
me
Baja
hungry.
Blast.
Oh, that
there
tops
it
it
is.
off.
There it is. There
I
it
may
is.
have
I'm
to
a
go.
lot like Jordan, man. Like I'm a fat fuck when it comes to the sweets. Like I grew up on sweets.
Yeah.
Same.
I didn't think I could bodybuild because of it. If they didn't have all the artificial flavors and shit
Yeah.
of like diet sodas and these energy drinks and stuff, like I wouldn't make it, bro. There's no
Bro,
fucking
Joe,
way.
what is your opinion on the new ice cream sundae A&W?
So
That's a great
I
topic.
remember-
Great
I
topic.
figured you
I
would.
remember listening to Seth Feroci because I heard his review on it first before I ever tried it. And I'm one that's like, I don't just listen to somebody's opinion. I need to form my own,
Right.
whether it's on something like that or whatever. So we were in. I actually tried it for the first time before Tampa. We bought it when we were in Texas because they have them in Texas, like all over the place. I mean, sorry, Tampa, and they had them in Texas. 'Cause I got them both, and yeah. So I was drinking those with my chicken and my beef meals,
Nice.
but I wouldn't drink it with it. I would drink it like dessert
Like
after
after.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
nice
think
root
people
beer
make the
float.
mistake of drinking it with the meal,
Yep.
Yeah.
but you want to drink it on its own because
Right.
it'll kind of taste funky if you mix it like beer and pizza. You can do that shit, right? But like
Yeah.
you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still drink it with the meal, bro.
So what
Gives me a
what
little
would,
sweet taste between bites.
you guys both like that flavor? I haven't had it yet.
Yeah,
good.
dude. If you're not a major sweet tooth, it's like dessert in a can. And most
Sure.
people say one thing or another. They're either like my wife is like, this tastes artificial, like chemicals. I'm like, this tastes extremely sweet, and the sweeter
Yeah.
the better.
Right.
I was gonna say the Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream
Yes.
for me is
Yeah.
like
Oh.
I like the first time I sipped that I was like, oh, done. I'll get
You'll
two
love
12
this,
packs.
then I'm sure. This is
Oh.
like, imagine vanilla Coke Zero with like a little bit of chocolate taste in there too.
Oh, say less.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because
good.
I'm
You
a
know-
sweet tooth horse, so that's my kind of
Yeah, you'll love it, bro.
Oh, say less.
It's weird though. There's some things that like that I'm afraid won't taste good when I'm not this lean.
Right.
I feel like deep in the off season, I'm gonna taste that and be like, oh shit.
That's me,
It's
Joe.
not the same.
That's me, bro.
Really?
I rarely ever have diet sodas in the off season because of that same reason.
Yeah, it's
Fear.
so
I do it
good
all
when you're
year.
fucking starved and depleted and stuff. It's like, wow, even peanut butter is like fucking cheesecake to you, you know? So it's like, so yeah,
Making me
once
hungry
I'm
for
able
that
to
next
eat,
meal,
yeah.
bro.
Sorry.
See, you're deep into prep. I'm slowly coming out of it. My food's slowly going up. So I'm like,
Yeah.
My
okay,
food's a
these
bit
things are
higher,
tasting
but
good, but
What
yeah.
dude, I'm always hungry.
talking about prep then and the sweets not tasting the same later. Like I used to make this like protein mug cake that when I tried it in the off season, I was like, what the fuck nasty shit
Yeah.
is this?
Oh, yeah.
What are your guys' like go to prep concoctions, or is food just you just eat it how it is? You don't play with it at all?
Mine's
bro.
cream of rice. Like cream
Yeah.
of rice is my delicacy,
Sure.
and it has to be made specific. Like no one can touch it but me. Like I have to
Right.
make it.
I'm the
Flushing
same way.
it the right way. Yeah.
Bro, just check out my YouTube. Everybody knows I'm
Yeah.
like
That's true.
all
yeah.
about my food and my concoctions. I do flavor gang waffles every morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have sauces and I cook almost every meal on the pan.
Yeah.
I'm
That's how you
big
keep it
on
good.
I mean, I add so much to my food. I put a lot of effort in my food. I really do.
Yeah.
But
Keeps
the
it fun.
waffles are my favorite part. The egg white flavor gang banana waffles, like every
Yeah.
morning.
I've been on like the healthy protein pancake. I mean, same thing as waffles. I just don't put it in the waffle
Yeah.
maker. But that's such a vibe on the weekends.
The waffle maker is so
Sugar-free
much
syrup.
quicker and easier. You don't have
Is
to
it?
flip it.
Dude.
You just pour it in, close it, and then it lets you know when it's done, and you take it out, and it's so easy.
My wife's like, I don't want another thing on the counter, and I'm like,
Yeah,
but it's
right.
a waffle maker
Yeah.
next to the creamy, next to
Put it in the
next to the air fryer. Like, oh my god, she's like,
There's
her whole,
always room
The
for
creamies
Oh,
too.
it
I'm gonna have a Ninja Creamy tonight.
that's what I'm saying. The Ninja
I just
Creamy.
made one earlier before
You
this
get-
podcast.
Do you get creative with your food at all in the off season, or not? Just mostly in prep?
Yeah, I get creative some in the off season, but not as much. Like
Yeah,
it
me
doesn't
too.
hurt me to microwave a meal. I'm like, I just don't care. Like it's
Yeah.
not that big a deal. But I'm always gonna add sauces. Like I love everything seasoning. I put sauerkraut in my food. Like I still put effort, but it's like maybe not as much of a delicacy as it is in prep. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Well, awesome, guys. We're at an hour 35. I know you guys have your Sundays to get to, your wives to get to, so we'll wrap it up. I want to send you guys off with a final note to the fans. So, Joe, you want to start off? You know, coming onto the scene, exciting. What's something you can send the fans off with?
Honestly, the
Fine.
amount of love and support I've gotten, I appreciate it more than
Yeah.
you guys know. Like, if you message me, just know you're going to get some sort of response, whether it's a like, a thank you, even a little like personal message, depending on who you are. But I will always try to make an effort, just like you guys make an effort
Yep.
to me. So I can't thank you enough. I'm extremely grateful and blessed to be where I'm at. And yes, I will continue to make everybody proud and just keep doing what I'm doing because I love what I do.
Yep.
Hell
And
yeah.
we're pushing for top 10. Fuck yeah.
Fucking
go.
A.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a fucking off season. Jordan, how about you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've just appreciated all the positivity. Like, I put up a post the other day. There's a lot of negativity in bodybuilding, like between the comments and the normie pages that come across our stuff. Like, there's plenty of negativity, but the amount of positivity I've received over the years. So there's so many people that have been around since I was a no name or just turned pro or did my pro debut or whatever. So the people that have been riding along and believed in me for a long time, and the people that have come along more recently and found out about me now that I've won a couple shows, like the positivity I've received has been amazing. The people that believe I'm going to do well at the Olympia, it's much appreciated. The people that use my codes for my sponsors to show their support, like I just am in disbelief this year, and it's really, it truly is the support from those people that allow us to do this for a living, because we truly can't rely on show checks anymore. Like it's not, and magazine contracts and stuff like that. Like in the early 2000s, like the people that really support you, both through positivity and through using your codes and all that kind of stuff. It's like overwhelming and so humbling. So, I appreciate them. And of course, all of my close friends and support that support me, and my wife, my coach, all those people. Like I've just got a great people around me and a lot of really positive people on social media. So it's been a blessing, bro. So
Yeah.
thank you to anybody that's watching and that takes the time to listen to these podcasts where I feel like they probably heard of quite a few of the same things in different podcasts, but they still want to listen. So it means a lot. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You guys want to both, Jordan, since you're talking, you want to shout out all the ways people can follow you and all your codes real quick?
Yeah, of course. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, Jordan Hutchinson, IFBB. Follow my YouTube as well. As soon as I get off here, I'm editing some YouTube. So this vlog's been delayed for days, but it should be coming out soon. Appreciate everybody that subscribes to the YouTube. Then, of course, I'm with Gasp, Core Nutritionals, Straight Labs, Uprising, Cali Cooks Meals, Flavor Gang. I have more, but they're all in my bio. Code Hutch for everything. So I appreciate everybody that supports all those companies that I'm with. And me and Joe are both part of the Gasp family, and that whole community is incredible support. So
fucking awesome. Joe, where can everybody support you and follow you and use your code?
So IG, Joe_the_machine. My YouTube's actually in that description box or the bio, I mean. And then most of my codes, I'm with Gas, Better Bodies, Dialed Moods. Those are all code Fat Joe, FATJO.
Nice.
Blackstone Labs. Blackstone Labs is the only code that's Big Joe 15. Again, it's JO. There's no E in there. So Big Joe 15. And yeah, man, just my sponsors and support, like you said, the Gas family, incredible. The amount of like camaraderie that comes from these places that my name's attached to has been incredible.
Yeah.
Them reaching out. Even I'm with a pharmaceutical company called Genly Pharmaceuticals. That's also going to be like every single post, everything that I post up is going to be there, the codes for that.
Yep.
But we just like, I know I speak for me and Jordan when I say our support system is incredible across the board. So we're very lucky to be a part of all these things. And yeah, your guys' support means the world to us, because if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this the way we do it, at least.
Absolutely. Nick, final thoughts for these guys?
Gentlemen, I'm really happy that you guys came on both at the same time. We wanted just like a dynamic here with both your names just being, the talk of the town. Really happy to see both you guys not just making waves with, your competitive careers, but your guys' followings are pretty great. You know what I'm saying? They're following you for the right reasons because you guys are good motherfuckers. You got great personalities, very wholesome. I'm happy to know both of you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you next. I'll be out at the Olympia for about 8 days, so I'll see both you guys there. But awesome. I will be in Texas for nationals. I got 3 people, so I'll see you out there in Texas. Hopefully, Jordan, maybe we can make something work. But
yeah, bro, of course.
Because Joe, you're in Vegas right now, but where do you live?
I live in Cali, but I'll be back and forth here a lot. Again, I have family out here, and I promised my wife minimum 1 to 2 times a month we'll make the drive out here. It's only 4 hours, and then
Nice.
I'll be going to Texas quite a few times. Specifically for Gas. Like I'll be there for nationals. I'll be there actually in September. I'll be there frequently throughout the year just to be a part of a lot of the events that they're having and stuff.
Awesome.
And to see Jordan and Justin and stuff like that. But
well, dude, maybe we can make something work out then. I'd love to get something going to both you guys.
For sure.
But other than that, guys, listeners, make sure you follow both of them. Yeah. And Lance, what about you, man?
No, I was just going to say thank you both so much for coming on. When Nick texted the group chat that you guys were both coming on in the same episode, I was ecstatic, just being such a big fan of the sport. Getting to watch both of you explode onto the scene this year has just been an absolute treat. So thank you so much, not only for what you do for the sport, but from like a fan perspective. You guys are what makes the sport go round, and it's just been a blast to watch both of you. Jordan, good luck at the Olympia. Like I said, top 8, big man. I need you top 8, big dog.
He's gonna do it. Watch.
He's gonna do it. Yeah, man.
No
And Joe, man, we're in Wisconsin, so if you do decide on a pro show next year, wink, wink, Detroit, it's a pretty easy drive for us. So it would be pretty sweet to get to see that physique in person, man. You've splashed onto the scene, and it's been well deserved. So thank you both so much for doing this afternoon.
Yeah,
likewise, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us on.
I won't take up a whole lot more of you guys' time. I reiterate everything they said. You guys have blown up the scene. Beyond excited to have you guys on today. Best of luck in the future endeavors. We got a lot of big things coming up, so we will catch you guys later, and appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
See you guys. You guys aren't done yet.
Yeah, we're not done.
I just wanted to do a brief little recap, so we got them. That's it. Thank you for everybody who stuck through the interview. I mean, it's awesome things
That was
coming
a sick
from
episode.
Jordan and Joe. What dope dudes. So really take the time to go check out their Instagrams, their YouTubes, and all. Support them in any way they can, except for use code D2 with Flavor Gang.
Yeah, come on now.
That's ours.
Come on now.
Jordan is a teammate technically. So
Technically, we're on the same team.
but yeah, thank you guys, and follow, and subscribe. That's where
100%, dude.
Awesome. Catch you guys later.